found out later. But thank you for your patience.
Well, we're just glad that you are healthy and well.
Well,
Yes. And glad you're back on with the board.
things are looking good for a change.
Good, good. Super glad.
Heather Miche, Chair. It's not raining, it's beautiful, it's good driving weather up the mountain. And glad to be here and great to have everybody in addition to the usuals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank
Welcome, Micah.
Micah, you're welcome to introduce yourself if you'd like.
Hello, I am Micah Wright, and I am coming from all the way from Canby, Oregon to here.
Wow.
Wow.
And you took buses to do that?
Yes, but it took me about 3+ hours,
Yes.
which would back would be 3+ hours.
Yes,
Wow.
with no coat on, I might add. We'll tell the drivers to turn the heaters on for you on the way back.
I don't think you actually can do that, can you?
Yeah, we can do that. Well, on ours, not on anybody else's buses, but we can on ours.
That makes sense.
Me,
Yes.
Nancy Payne, transit assistant. I'm looking forward to having both my children home for winter break.
Yay!
That's my excitement.
Nancy's children are in college.
So, yeah.
Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. There we go. Luna?
Ready? I'm Luna Rustum, Transit Program Administrator, and I have nothing else to say right now.
Okay, Chris, I think it's you.
Chris Alexander, TriMet driver. Been on the board, I think 3 years so far, so I enjoy it.
Thank you. Again, I love for us to have a wide range of perspectives. I love that you're a driver for our partner and our neighbor and our own driver and people who use our service. It's great. Now, if we just had Roxy and Joseph, but I don't see them with us, so we'll move forward with the agenda if you are ready, Heather, and if you're not, do you want me to do it? Well, she sent me a thing that they'll be a little late. 'Cause
Oh,
of her name.
okay, she did.
Yeah, you must have missed it.
Okay, 5:43, let's open the meeting. Well, we kind of already have. And any corrections or additions to the last meeting minutes, which take us all the way back to June, since we missed September? Did anybody have anything to add or edit on those minutes from our June meeting?
I don't think we have them in front of us, so if you didn't read them, then you just are out there.
So, can I get a motion to accept the June 2023 meeting minutes as written?
Motion to accept.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
And a
Chris.
second? You can second it.
I'll second.
It's pretty much where we're at tonight.
Okay. And any opposition?
So move.
Carry on. Yes, council, what's the story there?
He's not here tonight.
We know this.
Mayor Pulliam is our city council liaison, but he is dedicated to be in attendance January 11th at our route launch party at the Sandy Transit Center.
Good.
And he's looking forward to it.
Okay. So, let's have a welcome and bit of additional info for Tamara, our new general manager with MV1.
My name is Tamara. I moved here from I moved here from Idaho. I'm originally from Florida. Company I worked for moving from Florida to Washington State. And then in Washington State, I decided I wanted to join MP, it was a much better opportunity. So that's what brought me to here. I've been working in transit for almost 30 years.
Ooh, excellent.
I have experience with the paratransit service, with the Order service. I have a lot of experience with that. I've driven, I've scheduled, I've done everything except maintain vehicles, get under and oil and change them and stuff.
Wow.
But I enjoy what I do because I like helping people. I like providing a service to people that wouldn't interact with you, which see your friends, go to the doctors, or anything like that. I love being able to do that.
And we need help, old people do.
We all do.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
She's a good addition.
Okay, and the big news, Clackamas Town Center.
All right, so the big reveal, here is the route as we currently have it planned. Chris, can you see that? Or did I lose him when I did?
No, I can't see it.
Can't see a thing. All right, let me go
No, I can
back.
see you guys. That's something.
All right. Let's see. Well, but, oh, you're right, because then it'll give me options maybe.
Do it down at the green.
I
Yeah,
did
the shared
that
screen.
and it pulled this up, but it's not pulling this up.
Well, click on the image.
Oh, wait.
Click there,
Wait.
Click there, yeah, now share.
I really don't want this.
There it goes.
Yeah, but you're seeing yourself, aren't you?
Oh, like 3 of me.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
not cool.
There's an option to share just a window.
Thanks, Chuck. Let's do that. I need an IT. Chuck saves the day.
First one's free.
Okay, Chris, can you see that?
Yep, we're good.
I'm sorry, but somebody is trying to reach me, even though I just sent them a message and they called twice. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's our route. Hope you can see it from where you are. Muna and Alan drove it while I was in Georgia. And Alan made the suggestion that instead of so this is the Sam Gresham route, right? Instead of following the Sam Gresham route on 26, we're going to go off on Orient by the new Space Age gas station. That gas station will be our first stop. We've actually had requests to stop there. There's a road just after the gas station on both sides. That'll be our stop. We will have to drive it with the driver so they understand our thoughts. This way we can hit the nurseries that are back there as well. We've been reached out to from nurseries in the past that they are trying to find ways to get people to work, live in Gresham. And when they take Sam, they've obviously got to get off and walk quite a ways in the rural areas where the nurseries are. So we're hoping we can hit some nurseries. I don't know how well you all know the area, but we will have a stop at Harris Corner, which is a little kind of market by an elementary school. I think it's an elementary school. Then we'll keep going and we'll eventually then turn left on Compton, which we'll have a stop in front of, I always call it the A&W, but it's not A&W anymore. It's now the Bigfoot Museum, Sammy's, etc. We'll have a stop there. Oh, that's great. On both sides. Then we'll keep going into Boring. I wanted to stop in this little stretch here, but there's really not a safe place to do it on both sides. So our first stop in Boring is the fire station. Will be in front of the fire station. Will be our first stop. Then we'll go through Boring, and instead of stopping in front of the store on the highway, we'll turn right just after the store on Wally Road, and we'll stop at the Springwater Park where the trail goes through. Yes, that's what we're hoping for. That way we're not stopping traffic on the highway, we're kind of avoiding the intersection, and we're hitting a park and trail. So we're giving that multimodal access.
We get bikers
Mm-hmm.
and hikers.
Yep. We'll go up to the next street, turn left, and come back out onto the highway. We will stop at, I forget, it's called Fireman, I want to say. Fireman and School Road, just before the highway. If people, you're welcome to do that. If people want to get on, yeah, do, because your feedback is what I want.
If I, sorry to interrupt, because you said Wally Road, School Road, we actually, I believe, have an ed passenger on School Road back there. That older lady that rides all the time, whatever, to her appointments.
That's
So I've
fantastic.
been through there, and if, I mean, you said the route's been tested. If I recall, Wally off of the main road is kind of at an angle, so I'm concerned if that's too tight of a turn for a bigger bus.
Let's go try it.
Yeah, so
It's
But our-
That was
a
one.
90. It's a 90 at least.
Yeah, it is a very
90
sharp
degree,
turn.
well, it seemed like it went back a little bit.
Right.
And Julie, our road supervisor, she said she's done the route with some of the trainees just to test it out. She mentioned, we haven't gotten to it, but some of the parking lots get backed up quite a ways that we go through. But I don't know what route it is. It seems like there's been some changes, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if she's seen this.
Yeah, she was talking about by the hospital or something
Oh,
like
yes,
that. It
that's
gets
back.
way backed up.
It does. The hospital gets very backed up. And I wonder if I
But
should.
going down to Orient, stroke of genius, because that'll really help it get some good ridership. That's been awesome.
I'm gonna actually, why don't we just follow it on maps?
I know years ago, TriMet buses used to do that routing through Boring.
84, I used to take it.
Did you go on Wally Road or did you stay on the,
The school, we went down in front of the school, made the left, and then we came out, I think what you're talking about, we came out there, but we made the left and came back around. The first time I did it, I got lost because the directions were wrong, but ended up in an empty field.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's look at that old route and see, ended up in an empty field. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a body shop now.
Nice. Maybe we can grab that old TriMet route because, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason you did it that way, right?
It's the only way to loop around. They just the reason they eliminated it was because they were being charged a TriMet tax, and there was only 2 buses that went there all day. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Similar reasons that Sandy had like 4 runs, I believe. So, so here's Orient, right? Here's Compton where we pull off. We'll stop here. It's actually like right here, I believe. Head back over. I don't know if I'll be able to share. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, have passed the fire department. You know, here it is. So we chose this because it has a huge pull off right in front of it. Especially if we pull like right here, right where
The
the,
fire station. you mean?
yeah, where the sign is. It's just great. We can pretty much get out of everybody's way.
Right at the post office too. And the bank. It's a good spot.
Have you thought of doing a video showing what the new route would be so people can click on it and actually follow the video?
Yeah, because you can tell I've got such great tech skills, but that's a good idea. Take notes. Maybe we can hire somebody to do a video. Oh, we could hire Matt.
Yeah, because then you can be like, oh, this is the new routing. Then people can click on it on social media and then follow along so they know where it's going.
Right, that's a good idea. We should do that.
And that's a great idea.
Matt, yeah.
Should we call Boring Trailhead Park, as that was called?
So we had thought we would pull off here at Wally so that we could, and right here is a nice pull off with a sign that's the park.
But are we turning before Wally, like by the parking of the trail and then making a left?
Making a left up here on School, yeah. So maybe we should go out with the drivers before we get it in print.
Yeah, it doesn't look as tight as I was thinking coming from that direction.
Yeah, I mean, we've driven it several times and I don't remember thinking that it was a very tight turn for, that. I mean, you guys can do it, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll pull off there.
Excuse me, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically just a one-lane street.
It's two, it's two. Yeah, it's plenty of room.
I know it's two ways, but.
I think they'll have room. I mean, obviously we'll run it, but I think they'll have room. Yeah. So then we'll come back out where I lost my way. Here we are. So we can stop here if somebody needs us to. Our plan is, and the Clackamas County has put 3 new shuttles in place, and they've done this where they have a schedule, they have absolute scheduled stops, and then they have little stars that are lighter in color that are like, we could also stop here if you call and tell us that you need us to stop here. Especially as we get going, because this will probably change as, you know, as we go and we get feedback from the community of, oh, you have a bus running here now, it'd be great if you stopped here instead of there. So we are expecting to have changes and also expecting that if it's a safe spot and we can say, yeah, you know, like I just said, we can stop here and pick you up if that's a good stop. So we'll put a little star there and let people know that. All right, I'm gonna take us back out a little bit. And maybe we'll just go back to, well, no, I kind of like this. All right, so we'll move right along to a very, very, why don't you want to move? This is a new laptop for me. I just want to say that. And I'm not enjoying it. All right. Gonna head to Damascus. So we're gonna enjoy the scenery. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, really? It's like I can't do it with 2 hands. It makes me do it with 1. Tony's.
Using the trackpad.
Yeah. There, it let me do it. You know what? I bet I was right clicking. All right. And then when we get into Damascus, we're gonna, I don't really want to, but we're going to pull just right here in front of the Safeway. There's really no good spot in Damascus for us to get off the highway. So it's gonna block
Gets
traffic.
crazy during rush hour.
And it gets crazy. And so we're afraid if we pulled off into like a parking lot or something, we'd never get back on. Yeah. So we're gonna try to pull up in front of that Safeway on the way back. It'll be the fire station on the other side. And that's an actually halfway decent pull off. Then we'll keep going. We do have a request from a community member to stop somewhere on or around 172nd. They mentioned Tong Road, which is here. We drove it several times, and there really just is not a good place for the bus to pull off for that. So,
Thank God, let's not stop me there.
we told them that another stop that we'll put one of those stars that if you need it, we'll stop there, but you have to tell us, is right here at Armstrong Circle, which is no longer an actual road. It's closed on this end now. And they seemed really just thrilled with that option. So we're going to have a, tentative stop there. An actual stop here at this, we'll be able to kind of pull out where this road is not a road yet. So we can get out of traffic, get out of their way, and that gives access to all of these apartments and schools over here. And beyond that, we will enter Happy Valley and we will follow TriMet's lead.
So where are we on now?
So we're on 172nd. So we will not be going down Sunnyside instead we will keep going until 172nd, turn right on 172nd, and then turn left on Sunnyside, and follow TriMet. So our first TriMet stop is here at the Fred Meyer.
You wouldn't include Kaiser as a stop?
Yes,
Oh,
Kaiser is a stop.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, hooray, hooray. That's
So
wonderful.
we have a list of stops that we chose. Basically, we'll put our stickers on. If we get waved down, obviously we can stop at any TriMet stop, but we did not put Sam stickers on all of them. We chose one in front of Fred Meyer, one in front of New Seasons.
A grocery outlet.
Grocery outlet. Yeah, we kind of looked at what was around and how good the accessibility was at that stop and the amenities. Does it have a bench? Can you get to it? And that's where we put our stickers. So anyway, we'll follow TriMet in. We will pull into Kaiser the same way that TriMet does, and that is a hot mess. So the parking lot's crowded and there is a really tight right turn. We curved it when we took it with the Gillig with, was that Alan driving? Alan driving.
Alan.
If Alan did it, everybody's gonna do it, right? So we'll go into Kaiser, come back out, go down Stevens. We have a couple of stops on Stevens, as does, because they're TriMet stops. And where are we? Are we not there yet? I mean, this is a long route, you guys. Here's Stevens. So we will hit these two stops. There's a lot of doctor's offices there. And then these, we are not going to put our stickers on. Not a lot there that we feel like people are going to need to get on. They can call us if we're wrong, and they will. Turn down Monterey and into the mall. And then into the, wait, where am I? I'm on 82nd. And then into the TriMet garage and hub, where people can get on the train. They can link up with Clackamas Community College shuttles. Wilsonville is about to launch a route into this hub. That's new news. Yes. They're working on a new route to do the same, and it'll also run 6 times a day. So that's it. That's our.
Is there going to be a designated parking spot at the town center?
You know what they did? They gave us 2, Chris. Can you believe that?
I just know my coworkers tend to complain when they have the parking spots with what we have out there right now.
I hope I didn't just get rid of our meeting. There we are. We're right here. Okay. Your coworkers complain when they get rid of spots?
Yeah, peak time out there for the 72 is like every 6 minutes. So, and that's usually between like 2 and 6. And so the bays tend to fill up and people are circling. I haven't been out there in a couple of years, but it's just, I don't know how many runs they've eliminated out there since COVID, but I was just hoping, yeah, they would just give a designated spot. So that way you guys have a parking spot and then TriMet drivers will have no say about it.
Thank you. They gave us the option of the last 2 bays.
Oh, the northern end?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they were, I will say, another agency is having difficulty getting permission. And they were like, no, Sam, you've been a great partner for 20 years, no problem. And they've been wonderful, like really great. So it's been really good. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks,
Thanks
Chuck.
for having me.
Thank you, Neil.
Be safe out there. So we are going to drive it again, obviously. Sounds like we might have some decisions to make. And then we'll print the schedules. We're just going to do it as an insert into our, typical large schedule. I already gave Micah our tentative schedule. I probably should have printed it off for everyone. No, I used my other computer. We picked our times based on we're trying to link with TriMet, right? So our times are set according to when we will meet up with TriMet at the stops that start after 172nd. And we're kind of using their template to know from that stop we'll be at the transit center at this time. We are going to run 6 times a day, Monday through Saturday for now. And our launch party is January 11th at 2 p.m. Expect all of you there. Thank you.
Here at Ox, or?
No, at the transit center. Yep. It'll probably be cold and rainy like our 20-year celebration was, but we'll make the best of it. Try to keep it short. You'll get an invitation, an official email from me tomorrow.
January 11th.
January 11th at 2 p.m. at the Sandy Transit Center.
Okay.
The route will launch January 12th at 5:45 a.m.
I mean, probably one of the best things that happened for so many people.
Right?
And I know a lot of Kaiser agents.
That's the feedback we heard a lot. So this concept was created during our transit master plan, as you know. And a lot of the feedback, I know personally, I manned a booth at the Sandy Mountain Festival for feedback of, these are the things we're thinking about. What do you want to see? And I heard a lot of, oh my gosh, I want to go to the town center. I want to go to Kaiser. Especially from our older generation. They don't want to go to the mall. They want to go to Kaiser.
Well, you can't always get a ride from friends.
Right.
And you don't drive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Kaiser, it's to almost any of the medical facilities. OHSU is really a tough one for people. But this, I just know, will just make everybody happy and excited.
That's wonderful.
It's one of the
We'll
best
have to
things.
tell some people.
I did have one question.
Yes.
You did say this and I didn't hear it. You can't get on at the fire station and then get off at Damascus. You have to do the whole trip, or?
You can get off the Safeway in Damascus.
Yes, you can get off at Safeway in Damascus. That is not another transit agency's jurisdiction. You can absolutely do that. Yep. So you could get on in Boring and go to Damascus if you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was saying, I think, you can get off going both directions. So going,
Oh, yes.
west and coming back east. So it's going to be on both sides. I think she was just making sure she didn't have to stay on and come all the way back.
Yeah, no.
What did you say?
So you're saying if you got on at the fire station in Boring, yeah.
I was just using you as transportation. I'm not using it to go to Clackamas Town Station.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. The only thing that we will have to really watch is that we aren't taking TriMet passengers. So we won't want to pick up at a TriMet stop and then drop off at another TriMet stop.
I see.
And we do that with our Gresham service. We say, this is for Sandy, this bus is for Sandy, are you headed for Sandy? That's why our buses say drop off only on the way back. Or once we leave town, it says drop off only. And we'll do the same there. So once we hit TriMet's territory, when we open the doors, it will be, this bus is for Sandy. So if you are getting on at, let's say, 150th in Portland, in Happy Valley, or is it still Happy Valley at 150th, or have I entered into another?
I think you're still in Happy Valley.
Okay. They will need to wait for the TriMet bus.
Okay.
We won't pick them up to take them to another TriMet location. That's the TriMet.
I was just curious whether it was
Yeah.
and fair.
Gonna leave it at $1.
That's great.
Unless you guys have a recommendation to do something different. But $1 is easy. Most people can find $1. You don't have to get change. Mount Hood Express is $2. It's a very long route and treacherous. So I feel like $1 is still more than fair,
More
but
than
also,
fair, more than fair.
yeah.
More than fair.
And they can also buy passes, obviously. I will let you guys know that there are members of our community that are worried about us bringing Portland problems back to Sandy via public transportation. So,
Interesting. Hobbs.
so, I will be looking at how much it would cost if we were to randomly have security on the bus. I won't do it unless we actually find we are having a problem, because I don't think we're gonna have a problem.
You don't have a big problem from Gresham, do you?
Right. No, but some people perceive that we do.
Yeah.
And I really honestly believe it's a perception more than a reality. So I will be watching it because our council members and our citizens have asked us to watch it and just make sure that we aren't having issues, right? And that's fair. And that's the only plan we've kind of come up with so far that is, will still protect our drivers and our services if we need it. But I'm not gonna do it until we find out we need it. If you guys come up with any other suggestions on how to address that concern, let me know.
I can tell you from my standpoint is most of the problem childs that I deal with, they won't go to Washington or Clackamas County because they know they'll be prosecuted. So they tend to stay in Multnomah County.
Thank you. I will pass that along. I believe.
Yeah, that's the ridership gossip. They're afraid of Washington and Clackamas County, so they tend to stay away from there.
That's great. I believe most of the issues that we see in Sandy are Sandy residents, because we just don't have the services that Portland has for that population, right? Which is, I mean, you're a larger Portland. I shouldn't say you live in Sandy. Portland's a larger city, so they have a lot of services for people who are homeless, and we just don't. So I just don't see them wanting to come here unless, I don't know, something changes. But I will pass that message along, Chris, that's what I hear from TriMet folks, and that's what they hear from their troublemakers.
Yep, that I see them in Gresham in the mornings and stuff. That's where my run goes, and a lot of them they don't even go to the bus stop because they know if they head out here and they mess around, they know that it's not going to end well. That they'll have to take that long ride out to Oregon City.
That's true.
And we don't have bus service there yet.
Yeah.
What's the starting point in Sandy?
Transit center.
Oh, okay.
And we'll keep it that way because that way it's a hub, right? And so if they come up down on Mount Hood Express, they can catch it there and not have to take Sam Gresham and meet it.
It's a fine place. I don't see.
Yeah.
That's
great. But to your point, I do want to come back to your point that is my hope is that, and I tried to get it across in the paper article, but I don't think it kind of came across the way I wanted it to. My hope is that people do see this route as, and same thing for our Estacada route. People get on in Boring and Damascus to come to Sandy and shop or work or go to the mountain or whatever it is. He comes to recreate from Canby. So they can absolutely get on and off. I mean, we're trying to provide transit for those communities. They don't have to go to town center.
We just said something that, you said that you hope people come into Sandy to shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get off the transit center. Now what do I do? Is there going to be transportation there at here? It'll take me into,
Shopper shuttle.
oh, the shopping, I see, that would be available.
Or if you're coming from Boring, let's say, because that's probably the most likely, is that somebody in Boring wants to come to our Fred Meyer. They would get on across from the fire station, ride here, and they're gonna get off at our stop right here when you hit town at 362nd and walk down to Fred Meyer. They don't have to go to this transit center if they don't want to.
They don't have to go to the,
Transit center. If they, if all they want to do is go to Fred Meyer.
well, I was thinking if they want to go to lunch at Scooters, or
Yeah, then they can,
how do they
Get
get
off.
from there to here?
yeah, so they're gonna have to get off probably at the next stop up, which is Industrial.
Oh.
And it's right across from Scooters. So they can get on and off at any bus stop.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I just, if you
And
don't
then
have
like
a
she
car.
said, if you don't, yes, and if you're not mobile, then you would probably call and schedule rides, Sam Rides, and we'll pick you up. We do it all the time. People come in and they, from Gresham, and they get off at the transit center, and Rides is there waiting for them, and it takes them to their house.
And the shopping bus sounds good too.
And yes, the shopper shuttle is always great. Who doesn't want to ride a trolley? Do we have more questions about the route? Chris, are you going to be able to be there? I'm going to put you on the spot. Yeah, great.
That's
Oh, I bet you're at work though, huh?
yeah,
2 o'clock?
yeah. I don't get off till 2:22, but I don't know. We'll see if I want burn some of my vacation days.
The paper says Wednesday, but I think it's actually on the Thursday. But it is the 11th.
No, the 11th is a
It is
Monday.
a Thursday. Thursday, it's in January.
Yeah, I know.
I think I even told her Wednesday the 11th because I looked at my old calendar.
Thursday, the 11th, yeah.
But it's
So it
Thursday.
starts on Friday, the service starts on Friday.
Mhm. No, yes, the service starts on Friday. Yes.
I do have one question. Once per month, I usually walk with my 3 younger siblings going to this boring drive Foot Museum.
Yes,
Then if you're nearby, the Carso Carpus, is it possible you're gonna have any stop nearby that museum?
there will be a stop there.
So what's the name of that stop again?
It's on, the road's called Compton.
Okay.
And we will just, there's a gravel area right where you pull into that shopping center and
Okay.
drop off right there.
Got it.
And that's if you're coming this direction. If you're going the other direction, obviously, there's a little bit of a pull off and a sign. I don't remember what the sign says though.
Okay.
On the other side, but right there in front of the Bigfoot Museum. Yeah. We won't go down in there, but we'll drop you off right
Oh,
there.
that's fine, because 1 mile versus right now 6 miles is night and day difference.
Yes,
Absolutely.
no doubt about it. So, if you guys think of anything in the meantime, we've been putting ads out. I meant to have the paper out, but then I read it, so I probably put it back. It's just a single. So we were in the paper, the route was in the paper. We are running ads in it's now called the Milwaukee Post, even though it's for Clackamas in general. We ran a come see what Sandy has to offer ad and come make connections. We have an ad in the gift guide to give rides as a gift that keeps on giving and make memories by riding the shopper shuttle this winter season. You will see a banner ad on the Sandy Post next week, I believe it is. And there's one other. And Happy Valley, we also put an ad in the Happy Valley paper. And Estacada and Sandy both in January. So we have lots of ads going out. We don't typically advertise the way we have been, but this route's kind of a big deal. We want people to know we're doing it. If you think of other ways that we can advertise besides, we did digital push ads with the Post. If you think of other ways that we can advertise and get the word out, let me know.
Have it on, go ahead.
How about on the city's Facebook page?
Yes, so we posted it there. And the article from the paper was posted again. We've mostly had really positive feedback. Obviously with Facebook, there's always a lot of negative feedback too. And then we go insane trying to decide what we want to answer and what we want to ignore.
And when on Instagram as well, but I don't think we had it. Typically, it's pretty positive.
Yeah.
Instagram. People either like it or scroll on by.
Okay,
Bernice has a question.
yes.
Beside, which is a great place that they gave you the right upper half of the papers, excellent. Probably a couple more interviews with maybe a driver or some other staff members, maybe get something in. I know they're tough, but
Yeah, no, so Britt's actually really good to us. And we had a quick meeting where she decided, let's put a little article now in the paper. And then she said, let's come back in 60 days. Let's interview some passengers and talk about what, if it is making a difference and to who and who's riding it. Micah would be a great example of a passenger to interview for that route when he rides it. So she already said, let's come back around and do.
do you know anybody at any of the TV stations?
I don't.
Because they love stories like this.
That's true. We can reach out to some TV some TV stations. Or see if we know somebody who knows somebody.
Do you know Laura Lorette at Mount Damascus? She had some TV coverage. It was last year, not this year's, but for the mining town of remembering. I want to say it was 12 and 2.
Okay.
But maybe check with her if she has a name.
What's her name?
Laura Lorette, Lirette, 668-5545.
Thank you.
I would check with Carol too.
That's true. Carol Cohen knows everybody.
Yeah, and especially specifically TV and what she might suggest for additional marketing. Last thing. I'd even put it on Craigslist. They've got the free, they, have like the free event classes section and stuff, but
It's a good idea.
it's amazing. Free.
I need to get back with that woman from Hoodland News too. She's called and emailed and I've not replied. Thank you. That's all great. So, any more ideas pop up, you know where to find me.
Well, there is one thing. Why is Sandy going to this area of Wally Road? Because I'll be honest, my youngest son, especially my 8-year-old, she's pretty afraid to walk at Wally Road. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why they guys chose that road to say we go to.
So we chose it because it's easier to load and unload passengers at the park by the trail and that store in Damascus.
McCall's.
Is that the name of the store? McCall's? Without stopping the traffic on the highway. Otherwise, there's nowhere to pull off the highway. There's no side shoulder. It's very close to the highway, but it's not the highway.
Okay, I'm guessing then eventually I will just walk out there with her and ask her why she's afraid of that side road. All right.
Yeah, and let us know.
Yeah.
Stay in contact with us. Like I
Okay.
said, we hope that businesses let us know, or these nurseries, hey, this would be a great stop. We have workers that would use it, etc. So find out and let us know. Are we ready to talk about grants? Because
Yep.
we have about 30 minutes left and I promised to be quick and I haven't been quick at all.
Got a lot to talk about
That
today.
was a lot. The route is a lot.
I gotta leave in about 5 minutes to get my daughter, but
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Then I might skip to building design, Chris. If because grants is not really that exciting. We got grants, yay, you guys know that. So building design, we chose an architect firm, MWA Architects. They put in a proposal. We had 8 proposals, which is amazing at the City of Sandy. We're typically lucky if we get 3 or 4. They were really good, well-established firms too. Great proposals. We narrowed it down to 4, did interviews with 4 and chose MWA. We had a kickoff with MWA on Monday. They were here from 10 to 3. They followed us and we did a site walk. And then they did a bunch of interviews of who does what and how do you do it? How do your buses move? How do your drivers walk through the parking lot? Who uses this area? How do drivers come in the morning? Are they dressed or do they need an area to get dressed? I mean, they asked
Really good.
everything. They gave me a little bit of a headache because just right off the bat, they're like, oh, well, we knew it'd need if you build a new building, you're gonna have to update your wiring in this building, and you're gonna have to update your lighting, and you're gonna, and I was like, oh, it's getting really expensive. But they came up right there at the end of that day during the interviews. They had the master plan laid out, and they drew kind of a draft of, this is our recommendation of what you should do. As you know, originally I wanted to build a building here and then a maintenance bay. They said that building this building here is gonna be very expensive because there are a lot of, there's generators that you have to move, which means there's gas pipes under there, there's a lot of infrastructure in the ground there that's gonna be very expensive to move and build on top of. So what they suggested is that we make the maintenance bay larger than it's shown on the master plan. And we create it's 2 maintenance bays, storage on top for parts, etc. And then we have basically a building for a GM office, a dispatch office, road supervisor office, break and training, break room separate from training space, kitchen, lockers, 2 restrooms, etc. And then this gets opened up and basically PW is growing and growing and growing, as most people are aware. And PW moves their offices here. It's not set in stone, that's one option.
Completely out of here then?
Huh?
We would be completely.
No, so the office staff would still be here. But operations would move out there. That was their idea. I said, you still owe me 3 more ideas, or 2 more ideas. And they said, absolutely, they would. But that was their recommendation of the way that we can address our space needs the fastest and have transit taken care of, in the sense that we get the break room that's not also the training room, that's not also the walkway into the building, that's not also, and et cetera. So it was actually, I was impressed with the design and the space that they say can fit out there, but we'll see. So that's where we are. They'll be sending us rough drafts and concepts, but it's moving actually faster than I expected. I didn't think that they would already have suggestions by the end of Monday.
And that's 2-story.
Yeah. And if we did that, we would bring maintenance in-house. So we would not use third-party vendors to work on our vehicles anymore.
Okay.
So we would hire mechanics.
That would be a good cost saving, wouldn't it?
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Well,
It would-
an interesting look on your We face. get our vehicles repaired faster.
That's what I was gonna say. It definitely is faster and it's more sustainable. And Chris, if you need to go, that's the big news. So thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Chris, happy holidays.
Happy holiday. I forget it's the holidays.
Yeah, me too.
We'd be so much more sustainable because we wouldn't be depending on another place to work on our vehicles.
Their schedule, their management.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot what I was gonna say on top of. Oh, it will be designed to be a city maintenance bay. So, similar to Canby. Canby has the transit director oversee maintenance. But the maintenance is for the entire city's fleet. So it will be planned for the entire city, not just transit's maintenance. They also said this is gonna be so expensive that planning it now and then waiting until you get funding, you'd have to plan it again by the time you got funding. So they gave us some really good, that's actually, how they were listening to us and they were like, who needs to be by each other? What do they do? The circles, you know, what do they do that's different? How do they, and I'm like, well, the GM really needs to be by dispatch and the drivers have to be by dispatch. But then I also need the GM, but then, you know, it was really interesting. As far as grants, I think the only new news is that we got the carbon reduction program grant, I believe.
I think you're right.
So you all know that we had plans with PGE that they would cover our upgrades for electrification, and then they ran out of money. Yeah, they ran out of money.
Poor plan.
So, we put in a grant through the very first Oregon Department of Transportation, not public transit, but ODOT. It was the first round of carbon reduction program grants, and we were one of 11 or 18. And
Say
they-
11, it sounds better.
And they listed us first. Yes. I don't know why.
Got the charm. Yeah.
They listed us first, but yeah, across the state. So that grant agreement, believe will be available February or March.
Wow.
So I sent some emails today to ODOT to get the scope of work ready and talk about the land use and some FTA regulations, some hurdles we gotta jump through to have it all ready when
that's
we hit February.
Really quick though.
It's
To
really
be
good.
able to get that funding.
It is, because it's coming through the FTA. And so there's not, I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround to bring funds through the FTA into ODOT and then to us. So, yeah, February, March. And we have a meeting with PGE. I might have missed it because I feel like it was now.
Forgot.
So let's hope it's next week to finalize the plans so that we're ready to go. We finally also got permission from ODOT to issue a purchase order to Gillig because we left Proterra in the dust with their Chapter 11. I don't know if I told you guys that.
No.
Okay, wow, that is big news. Proterra filed Chapter 11. We had not signed a contract with them yet. I was not comfortable signing a contract with a company that was in the middle of a Chapter 11. They basically divided their company into 3 and sold it off. They sold the batteries to one company and the buses to another company.
Wow.
And yeah, so we pivoted and we got city council's approval to buy 3 Gilligs, which are more expensive, but we all know how much we love Gilligs. And we issued a purchase order to Gillig. We actually reached out to them in August. They like us a lot, so they put us on the production schedule, even though they didn't have a purchase order until now. So they'll be ready in 20 to 24 months. 2 years.
Or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is why we gotta get moving to have the electrification upgrades as soon as possible, because I hear that takes at least 14 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun times. Our neighbors are, shift change. Are we ready for shift change? I just keep rolling and talking.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
How do those Gillig buses compare to the Proterra?
They're pretty similar. The range is similar. So the Gillig, the good thing about the Gillig is that it still looks and feels like a Gillig, right? So our drivers, other than it'll be electric, the insides will be the same, the dash will pretty much be the same. Everything they're used to in a Gillig is the same, it's just propelled differently.
So the learning curve will be a little bit less, maybe.
I think so, I hope so. When we partnered with Proterra, Gillig wasn't quite there yet. But they've had buses out for a couple years now. They seem to be doing pretty well. They use a different charger than Proterra.
And that's all compatible with what we've already lined out with PG&E.
Well, we actually bought some chargers through Proterra that Wilsonville has agreed to buy, but what we paid for them, because they have Proterras currently. He agreed today, as a matter of fact. That is good news. So anyway, so we will buy the chargers that Gillig recommends, and it's a different brand. And we do that because although Gillig is pretty sure that their buses will run on the chargers we bought, if they don't, then we have no guarantee from Gillig. Right? But if you buy the chargers that they recommend you buy, then you know they are gonna work. And if they don't work, Gillig takes care of it because they said they would work. So we're climbing a big hill for the next 2 years, basically. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of projects. I haven't even talked about the technology project, which is a headache for me right now because I don't have the RFP out and I need to reading into that grant time. See how tired my staff looks?
Is it Christmas yet?
Oh, anyway, so yeah, that's what's happening with that. Yeah, poor Proterra.
What else do you do with your day?
Not much, to be honest, not much.
That's a lot of work and hang off.
It's paying off. I hope it's paying off. In 2 years, we'll breathe again, and we'll be very proud of ourselves.
Big party.
That's right. We'll be very proud of ourselves.
Any celebrities coming to the opening?
The mayor is coming.
Any celebrities coming?
Thank you, Bernice.
Do you mean the opening of the electrification? Or do you
Or
mean
the route.
the
Town
route?
center route. The town center route?
Or the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like, what's his name is always at some opening, Ron, name slipped out.
Wyden?
Wyden. He's always into things like that.
yeah, the electrification probably will have some celebrities like that. Blumenauer would probably be one. I'd be surprised if he didn't come. Wyden would probably be one because it's there. The grant that we got was a federal level grant that they represent. So it does reflect well on them. And yeah, they reached out and were surprised when we were actually awarded it. Because
Why were they surprised?
well, I think because we did not reach out to them and have letters of support from them, and so they didn't know we were even doing it. And prior to us receiving that grant, smaller agencies just didn't really receive that funding, so it was a surprise. I got an email from their office saying, "What is this? Can you tell us about this? I'm really surprised to see this." It's like, oops, sorry. Anyway, so I hope they do come.
Well, could I suggest for the January 11th celebration that we have one or more county commissioners here because
I have a draft email to Paul Savas because he is such a transit advocate at every meeting he goes to, that I sent to them today for a final to just make sure this looks okay. So I do hope he comes. Yeah, I will try. And I will send it to the rest of the commissioners, but he in particular really is a Clackamas transit advocate.
since it's election year, I'm sure you could get any politician you wanted.
Well, Warren doesn't really have any, they don't have any governmental infrastructure. Maybe the CPO representative from Boring?
Maybe. Yeah, we have to, that's on our agenda this week. 'Cause I should have done it last week, but we have an invitation ready, we just haven't typed up all those emails and hit send yet.
Very exciting.
It is exciting, it really is.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at that route. I mean, look at all the communities that supports and serves,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I don't know if Tamara's really excited about finding the extra drivers.
That's what we're running right now.
The extra drivers needed by January 12th. So shift change vehicle, you guys remember that I said we were gonna buy a Tesla a while back and then Tesla got expensive and so we didn't buy a Tesla. Because we do want it to be electric and we need it to be at least all-wheel drive. And, now there is a Chevy Blazer that is electric that will serve our purposes better than a Tesla. Slightly more expensive, believe it or not. But we're gonna go in front of city council and request that we purchase it. We have the funding, we have enough funding for the Blazer and the Charger that it'll need.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's next. Muna's been working, she's got the staff report ready. She did a bunch of research on electric vehicles. We got to know electric vehicles very well.
Do you ever hear if that, the people over by the gym,
Oh, Fresenius, the dialysis place?
dialysis, if they're ever coming back or isn't somebody new? Will-
They keep saying they are. What did they tell us? It was like
It was
April,
a year ago
March.
when they said.
They said it will
last
be open?
November, when they said we'll be open in a month, and then it's just been, it's coming.
We need it. We need it. But it's, like she said, they keep saying it's coming.
I'm sure for the patients alone, they're anxious.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, we give a lot of rides to dialysis right now in Gresham. So it would be nice to switch those rides to in-town.
Be good for Sandy.
Be great. Be great.
I just thought, I should have somebody from the Bigfoot Center dressed in a Bigfoot outfit to come for the opening on the 11th.
That's a good idea.
I mean, people,
I have a Bigfoot costume.
I know you do.
You do?
You have somebody, so I
I have somebody.
could always, could wear that too.
I do.
Incognito.
Mm-hmm.
The new band mascot.
Yes, yes. Wouldn't that be something? We should do that. We'll reach out to them. Maybe Sammy's will bring some sandwiches out.
You know, they might, because
They
they were
might.
one of the people that requested a bus out there.
Mhm.
Yeah, right when he took over, I remember him calling, it was a big
Nuts on
thing.
Sports Pizza.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
I mean, heck, that's a boom, boom, boom right there at one stop.
So we decided that at the launch, we will not be getting on the bus and riding the route. That's a really long route to be on a bus with, people.
Yeah.
That would be like an extra long meeting, So anyway, so unfortunately we won't be. We did even talk about maybe we'll just do the short, we'll just do the part that's exciting, going off Orient and, oh, my battery's low. Our meeting might end early because I don't know that I have it with me. But it's January and 2:00 in the afternoon, so we'll just have some fun things happening and let our important celebrities say some words and celebrate.
Get like a PR person from Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser might be very
Seriously,
interested in
yeah.
knowing.
I mean, they're all about, so much about, I can't remember what that campaign was, but you might remember Bernice, but this was years ago, but just the whole wellness campaign,
Yeah.
as far as, and then wellness for the planet.
Mhm.
But they'll also say they can provide you with transportation when they can't. But what they mean is they can provide you with the name of the service.
It's
And they would
true.
put down
Yes.
Sandy Andrea Jones.
Yeah,
That's true.
resources
Yeah.
on the referral list.
Sure. Tomorrow we're gonna reach out to all these people,
So how much
except I'm in Salem with OTA all day.
How much of a little bit of overage money do we have that we could send our very hardworking staff, admin staff, on a retreat?
Do you do advertising on the buses?
We don't.
Because I was thinking that route, you could get all the places in Sandy, but there are some there in Damascus that store that has all the gifts and things.
Yeah,
Happy Valley would love it.
they probably would love it. Yeah, we don't do it. It's a lot of administration or administrative tasks, I should say, that we aren't looking for. We gotta have a policy, who can advertise versus who can't,
That's true.
who makes the ad, who prints it, who
How much
comes
is
up
it?
with the ad copy. It's just an obstacle we haven't approached. We're not big enough to do that quite yet. We're not that empire yet.
Are we, remind me, on the route, are we on Sunnyside at the area where New Seasons is? Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Snyder requested a stop by New Seasons.
I would
Yep.
get with them.
Yep.
They'd probably be thrilled.
Yes, we chose the stop in front of there.
You can see that our hearts are in your.
I love it. Yeah.
I just think it's wonderful what you're doing. I really. So happy about it.
Thank you. Are you able to get rides yet?
Well, I have been going to Kaiser like 2 or 3 times a week. And so I've been using my friends. I didn't even try. I haven't done anything local. I want to get back to the gym. And I keep promising myself I'm going to call for the bus and get to the gym, or even to do a little Christmas shopping at Bi-Mart or whatever.
Right.
I haven't called them. That's my fault for not calling them.
Okay.
But I will,
All right.
even if it's after the holidays. But
Okay. Tomorrow, she had a hard time for a long time getting a ride. And I'm not sure exactly why.
Well, some of the problem was probably me, but like I had an appointment at the senior center at, I think it was like 12, and I'd only be there until 12:30. Well, they could pick me up, the bus could pick me up around 10:30, but they may not pick me up till 2 or 3. So it's a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
to wait. And, maybe if I had longer meeting or something, but it's only going to be maybe 20, 30 minutes to sit there for an hour or so at that end of it, as well as sit there at the other end of it. Just didn't seem practical.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm such a believer in this system because before COVID, everything changed with COVID.
Yeah.
I used the bus at least twice a week, and it was regular time. But if I wanted to go shopping in any, like Safeway or something, I could always call, and I'd have the bus there when I needed it. They'd pick me up when I needed it. For somebody who can't drive, it was great, really, the best thing to have.
So when you weren't able to book your trip, was that like?
I'm sorry.
When you weren't able to go, and you had to be there at 12, you couldn't, and they, we said we couldn't pick you up till 10, when was that? Was that like recently, or was that a while ago?